Beth with Agely Inspired. Today I'm going to show you how to make a ponytail hat on your knitting machine. You're going to need either a 46 or 48 pin knitting machine, yarn, waste yarn, a ponytail holder, a crochet hook, and a tapestry needle to weave in your ends. You're going to begin with your waste yarn and we're going to cast on. So to cast on, you're going to go under your first black needle, go behind the next one, under the next one, behind the next one, and you're just going to do that all the way around until you make it back to the beginning. Once you're back to the beginning, you're going to open your feeder and weave your yarn through it. And then if you have some kind of a tension fork, I like to use that. Place your yarn in your tension fork and then work 5 to 7 rows of waste yarn. Now you're going to take your waste yarn and the tail of it and put it to the center and grab your working yarn. Feed it under the black hook, through your feeder, and into your tension fork. We're going to work 105 rows on our machine. Now, depending on what size of hat you're making, or if you would like it to be a folded up brim or just a regular beanie, you can adjust the number of rows. But for this one, we're going to do 105. Now that we've completed our 105 rows, you're going to take your yarn and place it to the center. Do not cut it. We're going to use it to finish off our ponytail beanie in the end. So now you want to switch to waste yarn, and you're going to feed that under your black hook and through your tension fork. And then we're going to work an additional 5 to 7 rounds of waste yarn. Now that we have our waste yarn rounds completed, just place the tail to the center, and then we're just going to crank until the beanie falls off of the machine. Now take your machine and move it out of the way, and we're going to work on finishing up the ponytail hat. So you're going to take your tube and pull your working yarn out and then give your tube a good stretch. This is important to make sure that we get all the stitches dispersed evenly. Now we're going to double it up. So you're going to slip your hand in there and pull the bottom end through the top. Once you get the ends matched up, then we're going to take and match up our working yarn, which is going to be on the outside closest to you, to your yarn tails that are on the inside. So your waste yarn and working yarn tails should match up. So make sure that they are across from each other. Once you have them lined up, then you're going to need to get your ponytail holder handy and your crochet hook. So grab your crochet hook, and we're going to go into the first stitch that's to the left of your working yarn. So go through the stitch closest to you and then go on the opposite side of the beanie and go through that stitch. Then we're going to connect the two sides of the beanies together first before we start to add the ponytail holder. So you're going to yarn over, pull through both stitches, yarn over, and pull through, and that's going to create a chain. And then now we're going to single crochet through each stitch all the way around and the ponytail holder at the same time. So grab that ponytail holder and hold it up against your stitches. So we're going to go into the next stitches, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So you've created your first single crochet. Now let me correct that by saying you're going to do that in the same hole as your chain one. Now we're going to move on to the next stitch. Go through the stitch closest to you, and then through the opposite side of the beanie. And then through your ponytail holder. Now yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Now I am going to give you a close-up here so you can see a little bit easier, because I know that this can be difficult to see sometimes. So same thing, go through the stitch on the outside of the beanie, go through the stitch on the inside of the beanie, go through your ponytail holder, yarn over, pull through the ponytail holder and those 2 stitches, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both stitches. So you're just going to continue to do this all the way around. Now once you get back around to the other side, I'll show you how to join it, but you do want to make sure that if you used a 46 pin knitting machine, that you have 46 single crochets. If you used a 48 pin, you should have 48 single crochets when you get to the end. That's very important because you want to make sure that you do not miss any stitches. If you did miss any stitches when you go to take the waist yarn out, unfortunately the beanie will unravel. You will lose stitches. So I always double check before I remove my waist yarn just to make sure that I didn't miss any stitches. Just going to show you a couple more times, and then we're going to speed it up so we can get back around to the other side. Okay, so now that we made it back around to the other side, you're going to go into the top of your very first single crochet, slip your crochet hook through there, yarn over, pull through your stitch, and pull through the loop that's on your hook. Now, like I said, double check and make sure you didn't miss any stitches. After you've checked, made sure that you haven't missed any stitches, then you're going to cut your working yarn, and then we're going to pull it through that last loop to fasten it off and secure. So pull that tight, and then go ahead and remove your waist yarn. Now that we have all the waist yarn removed, I just like to give it a little bit of a stretch at the top just to make sure everything looks okay and that the stitches are all dispersed evenly. You can also flip it wrong side out if you want to see if the other side looks better for you. But once you're satisfied with how it looks, then you can be finished at this point. Or if you're like me and you like to add a tag, you can go ahead and do that. So I'll show you how to add a tag. I get my tags from several different places. This particular one is from Oak Ridge Engraving, but I also like to get from Laser Llama Boutique as well. And then you are finished.